Hello students, welcome to the second part of direct and indirect speech. In this part, we will be understanding how to change interrogative direct sentences into indirect speech. First, let's understand what is an interrogative sentence. An interrogative sentence asks a question. Secondly, it always ends with a question mark. Generally, we have two patterns of questions. One is direct question and second is yes or no question. In direct questions, question begins with a question word or WH words in English. Which are these words? These are words like who, what, why, when, where, how, and so on. An example, why is the sky blue? As you can notice, the WH word, that is why. Now let's move to the yes/no type questions. These questions generally start with the helping verb followed by the subject. The helping verbs like is, am, are, was, were, do, did, and so on. These questions are designed to answer simply either in yes or no. Let's understand with an example. Are you coming to the party? Now you can notice the helping verb are is used for yes or no type question. Now students, the interrogative sentences is clear to you. Now we'll move to the steps that we have already studied in part 1 of changing the assertive sentences into an indirect speech. Now there are three important changes when we are given an interrogative sentence to change in indirect speech. Rest all the things remain the same. The first change is change of reporting verb. The second change is replacing the inverted quotes with that, and the additional step is to convert the question into a statement. As you can see, there is a change in step 2 and 3 and an additional step is added. Let's understand now each step one by one. Change of reporting verb. Said or said to is converted to asked. Says or says to is converted to asks, and say or say to convert to ask. Other words like inquire, suggest, and inform can be used in the reporting verb. Also students, if ask, asks or asked is there, then there is no need to change the reporting verb. Moving now to the second point, that is replace the inverted quotes with, in place of direct question, we'll directly change it to the question word. We don't need any additional conjunction over here. But in case of yes/no type questions, we'll change it to if or whether. Moving to the additional step, that is step number 7. After using all the 6 steps, that is converting question into statement. Hence, changing an interrogative to an assertive sentence. That means we change the question mark into a period or a full stop. Now let's apply these all 7 steps in examples. Example, she said to me, "What are you doing now?" Now first step is to identify where she is the subject, me is the object, you is the second person, and said to is the reporting verb. Now as said to is the past form, so we need to check the tense in the reported speech. Here the reported speech tense is the present continuous tense. Step 2 is to change the reporting verb. Said to will become asked here. Step 3 is to replace the inverted comma with what. As it is a direct question, so the sentence will go as, she asked me what. Step 4 is change of pronoun. Here you is the second person and object is me. So you will be converted to I. Step 5 is the change of tense. Here the reported speech in present continuous, so it will be converted to past continuous. So are doing gets converted to was doing. Step 6 is the change of words denoting time. Here now will be converted to then. Now after step 6, your statement comes as, What was I doing then? Now on converting it into statement, we get what I was doing then. Notice that the placement of the verbs has changed. Even we have converted the question mark into a period or a full stop. So now the final sentence comes up as she asked me what I was doing then. Another example, he said to her, will you listen to such a person? First step is to identify where he is the subject, her is the object, said to is the reporting verb, and as said to is in the past form, so we need to check the tense in the reporting speech, and that is in simple future tense. Step 2 is the change of reporting verb where said to is converted to asked. Step 3 is we'll replace the inverted commas with if as it is a yes no type of question. Now the sentence will go as she asked her if. Step 4 is the change of pronoun. Here you is in the second person and the object is her. So you will be converted to she. Next step is the change of tense. Here in the reporting verb we have will. So will be changed to would. Step 6 is change of word denoting time. But as there are no such words, so it won't come here. The last step is to convert a question into a statement. After the 6 steps, the statement is, would she listen to such a person? And on applying the 7th step, the statement will become, she would listen to such a person. The final indirect statement will come as, he asked her if she would listen to such a person. Let's look at another example. The teacher asked the students, does the sun rise in the east? First step is to identify. Here, teacher is the subject, students is the object, and asked is the reporting verb. Here, asked is in the past form, but in the reporting speech, we have it as a universal truth. So there won't be any change. The next step is to change the reporting verb. Here, the reporting verb is asked, so there won't be any change. The next step is to replace the inverted commas with if, as it is a yes no type of question. Step 4 is to change the pronoun. As there is no pronoun, this step won't come. Fifth step is the change of tense, as it is a universal truth, so we won't be changing the tense. The next step is the change of words denoting time. So there are no such words, so this step is also not applicable. So now step 4, 5, 6 is not applicable, but now after putting the 7th step, the sentence will go as, the teacher asked the students if the sun rises in the east. Now let's move to another example. He says to me, do you like Shahid? The first step is to identify where he is the subject, me is the object, and says to is the reporting verb, you is in the second person. As says to is in the present form, so there won't be any change in tense. The second step is change of reporting verb. Here reporting verb is says to, so it gets converted to asks. The next step is to replace the inverted quotes with if, as this is a yes no type of question. Step 4 is the change of pronoun where you will be converted to I. Step 5 is the change of tense, but as the reporting verb is in the present form, so there won't be any change of tense. Step 6 is change of words denoting time, as there are no such words, so this step is also not applicable. And after adding the additional step 7, the sentence will go as, he asks me if I know Shahid. So students, I have explained you different types of questions, how we convert it from direct to indirect speech. We'll move further now and continue this topic in the third part. Thank you.